Dave. Yeah, so like you said, Leo Kelly. My business background is I worked for about 8 years for my dad out at Circle Computer Resources, which is an IT company in Cedar Rapids. During my time there, we took it from about 12 employees up to about 60 and grew revenue from $1.5 million to $8.5 million. While I was there, I started working with my sister, actually, who's my business partner in Xenophon Learning, when we developed an easy way to onboard new employees there, and she has since taken that program out to ClickStop, where she got hired, and she's a vice president out there. We've had great success with it at both places. So the idea is, how do you make the new employment experience as good as possible from a productivity perspective from the business, and just from a career acceleration and enjoyment perspective from the employee? So the way most jobs start is like this. You're happy and excited. You want to kind of prove yourself to your new team. You want to make a difference. You want to do a lot of good things. The problem is, after a few months, it kind of degenerates into just another job. And this is exactly what was happening to me at Circle Computer. As we were growing, I'm responsible for hiring new sales reps. I don't know how to do that. I'm doing a poor job. We're hiring people. A few months later, they're coming to this situation. They're, again, starting really happy. A few months later, just depressed. We're having to either terminate the relationship or they're quitting on their own. It's a lose-lose situation. And this is happening after a few months. We got tens of thousands of dollars in salaries that we've paid and haven't really gotten anything out of it. So across the board, companies lose about 25% of their employees within the first year. So you hire somebody new and 25% of them are gone. It is a very expensive proposition. It can cost anywhere from 30% to 400% of a person's annual salary. So again, tens of thousands of dollars to replace someone who quits, especially as you get up into the senior level people. So it's a problem that we really want to solve. The problem is not limited to turnover, however. People who do not leave or get fired from their jobs stay there, and according to Forbes, in the US and the UK alone, an estimated $37 billion is spent annually to keep unproductive employees who do not understand their jobs. Not only is this a waste of money from the company's perspective, but just put yourself in the shoes of a person who is working somewhere, who is unproductive, and you don't understand your job. Very frustrating. You're probably miserable. You're probably making those around you miserable. It contributes to a toxic culture. It's just not good for anybody. So how do you get to this situation where you have a long-term, mutually beneficial relationship between employee and employer? And obviously there's a lot of things that go into that, but the foundation for it is a good onboarding program. So new employees who attended a well-structured onboarding orientation program were 69% more likely to stay at their jobs for at least 3 years, or for up to 3 years, according to that study. Also, 54% greater new hire productivity if you have a standardized onboarding program. 50% greater new hire retention. So this is the foundation to saving yourself much headache and money. So what we do is we write these onboarding programs and we train companies on how to do it. So every onboarding program has at least 4 things, at least in my experience, that it should do. First of all, you want to engage your good people. If you have a rock star working for you, you've got to let them spread their wings and fly. And if you don't have an onboarding program that enables them to do that, they're going to get frustrated quickly and either flame out and quit, or just take a step back and stop being so ambitious. It's bad for everybody. You also want to identify your strugglers. No hiring process is perfect. So there are going to be some people who get through your hiring process, they're hired, and they're just not going to work out, or they're going to need some extra help or whatever. Your onboarding program should be a stress test that identifies those people so you can get them help. If you can terminate the relationship early, that would be probably better for both parties. You just want to be able to have that intelligence so you can take action early on. You want to naturally foster new mentoring relationships. So when somebody is newly starting at your company, you want to put them in a position where they're learning from your existing employees, and the existing employees are expecting to have to teach them. So that way, mentorship can develop naturally. It should not be something that you ever force. That can be a miserable exercise in futility, as a lot of companies have learned. You also want to take the opportunity to learn from your onboarding program. So if, as an example, if I'm training a new hire about, let's say, departments, And I send them out, and I send them out to you, the employees of my company, and I tell them you have to learn about our engineering department. And they're filling out their workbook, and they come back to me, and from the feedback I get, it says they believe that the engineering department is in charge of customer feedback. And I know that that is not true. Now I have information that I can act upon to improve my company. For one thing, I'm going to correct the misunderstanding of the new hire, but also I can go out and find out how pervasive that misunderstanding is within my company. There's probably customer service calls getting routed to the wrong people. There's probably deep issues going on that I can now take the information I have to go fix the problem in my company. So, in a reimagined onboarding world, if you hire Xenophon Learning to do it, we have a program where we require the employee to self-teach. So we use what is called the Socratic teaching method, which is where you teach your student by asking them questions. So when you walk in the door, I'm going to say, what is our mission statement? You don't know the answer to that, but I'm going to ask you to go figure it out for yourself. So within that, you have to have a clearly defined program. The programs look like this. So this is about 30 pages. It is the first day of an employee's onboarding program. Typically on the first day, we'll cover things like history, mission, values, employee details and benefits, that kind of thing. So you'll be expected as a new employee to have this fully completed after the first day. It's a bunch of information on the company, but it's also resources where you can go to learn more. So going along with that, obviously you need someone who can help you through the process, which is an employee acceleration coordinator is what we call them. This is typically somebody who works in your HR department. This is the companion material. This is the manual for the trainer. So we'll also train the HR people how to train the new people. And of course, at the end of the day, the people who have to define success of an onboarding program is the person actually hiring the employee. So that's who we are. That's what we do. Thank you.